Oh, absolutely. How important are clinical trials? Well, obviously, firstly, they show whether a drug works or not, and if a drug does work, it tells you how well it works and how long it prolongs survival. But it also gives great insight into side effects, and nowadays, pretty much all trials have dose modifications programmed into them to allow for dose adjustments depending on what toxicity is experienced. And that's extremely true with a landmark trial that we're involved in here in Australia called the Napoli-2 study. And the Napoli-2 study is a trial that builds on the original French recipe called fulfirinox, and it uses a new drug called nal-irinotecan. And the nal-irinotecan is taking a component of fulfirinox, the iri being irinotecan, and it packages it inside a little fatty ball, so that when it's infused into the body, the little fatty ball protects it from early metabolism and delivers the drug to the tumour cells in a way that enables the tumour cells to ingest the chemotherapy drug, so that you get much higher levels of the chemotherapy drug inside the cancer cell and less free drug floating around the circulation to cause side effects. And in talking about fulfirinox, fulfirinox was a recipe developed by the French in the Accord study, and the Accord study really was fantastic because it showed that a old-fashioned drug combination using oxaliplatin, irinotecan, folinic acid and 5-fluorouracil all combined together produced a really good sustained response in people with pancreatic cancer. The issue was that that study only recruited marathon runners under the age of 50 who were already too fit to require treatment almost. And although we exaggerate about how fit that study cohort was, it means that the patients who were on the Accord study were way fitter and healthier than the real world patients with pancreatic cancer. So there has been a perception that the recipe called fulfirinox can only be used in people who are supremely fit. Now, our own research, which we've presented at ASCO and ESMO, does show that you can still utilize the fulfirinox recipe, but using a much lower dose of the drugs than was actually reported in the original Accord study. And our work has also now been supported by work from the likes of Gunteroo and Yale University in America, who've also shown exactly the same thing, that fulfirinox can be safely given to people over the age of 70 who are not as fit and well as the people on the original study, provided the doses are reduced. And we often will start at about a 30% dose reduction for the oxaliplatin and the irinotecan, and then perhaps gently dose escalate as we go. So we've also been able to show that the fulfirinox recipe is safe in people over the age of 70, and we've had people at the age of 82 go on to fulfirinox and stay on it for 3.5 years and still play golf twice a week, which is probably better than what I do.